Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome. We are glad to be back with you, me and my aroma sisters, as I affectionately call them. I'm super excited to be here today. Woohoo! As I celebrate us getting back again for the summer. So, hi, everybody. Hey, beloveds. Oh, wow. Ladies, how are you doing?
Doing wonderful. Happy
Great,
to be
great.
here.
Yes. So if you don't know, if you can see our names, I'm gonna formally introduce to my, it looks like my left, on my right is Shawn, the oil whisperer. So welcome, my sister, for being here.
Thank
Below
you.
her is Dr. Sheila. Woohoo! Thank you for being here. And my wonderful LeeApril Burton. Thank you for being here, my sister. Now that I've said your names and gave you a formal welcome, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do? We're going to start with Shawn.
Hello. So I am Shawn, affectionately known as the Oil Whisperer, and I am an aromatherapist who had a journey of dealing with a chronic illness for 20 plus years. And it gave me the momentum to um, go ahead and find other ways to try to help myself. And upon doing so, I did get some relief by um, using essential oils, aromatherapy, and other natural modalities. And I was inspired to help other women who are dealing with the same chronic illness. And that's what I do. I coach myself to be able to now live a life um, free from the chronic pain and the fatigue. And I want others to experience that as well to get their lives back.
All right. Thank you very much. And go ahead, Dr. Sheila, if you don't mind.
Yes, sure. Happy to be here tonight. My name is Dr. Sheila, and I am considered a natural health consultant, a doctor of natural medicine, and a holistic health practitioner. I work with women who suffer with brain fog and fatigue and restlessness and sleepless nights. I help them to relieve those physical symptoms. And I also work with women who are navigating the challenges of thyroid related issues, such as hyperthyroidism. I also work with women with that as well. So I'm so happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, Lee April Burton. Uh-oh. I can't hear your sound, sweetheart. Uh-oh. Well, I'm gonna go into do. I'm gonna go into you can get jump back in, but I am remiss. I didn't even introduce myself, y'all. So I am your host, Danny. As you can see on my channel, Natural Ally D, I am a social worker of 20 plus years and an certified aromatherapist, and I married the two to help enhance our overall quality of life. And my passion is for social workers and counselors and helping professionals alike. And because of my compassion and passion for social worker, I help those professionals um, navigate the world of wanting to use natural health modalities, right? Along with what they're already doing for their clients. As social workers, we can have some of our pain points can be compassion fatigue. We can have emotional transference with our clients that we serve. We can just get tired. We can be overworked with caseloads, all the things that can bring about stress, anxiety, or just not feeling good in the day or wanting to face the day, right? When you're working with people on an individual basis and families who have needs, they're usually coming to you because they have a situation for which you are there to help them with. So, that's what I do. I enjoy helping those professionals learn how to use aromatherapy, not only for themselves to help them in their practice, but also offer it as a complementary modality for their clients, right? And see how it help them in between sessions, because clients aren't always with you, right? You're there for one session or a couple of sessions or group sessions, and they might not, they need something beyond what you could offer, right? In aromatherapy, there's no red tape. You don't have to have a prescription for it. You don't have to get, approval for recommending or suggesting for something that they can utilize on their own. So you don't have to worry about the bureaucracy and things of that nature. And you can refer them to wonderful people, ladies or aromatherapists such as us that can help them, right? So even though you're not an aromatherapist yourself, you can certainly um, plant the seed and offer a suggestion in order to um, help your clients. All right. I see we have our LeeApril Burton. We ready, dear heart?
Yeah, guys, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you can hear me now. Is that right?
Hear you
Okay.
beautifully.
Okay, I
Yes.
had to switch over to my phone because my computer's old and broke down. So I'm sure some of us can understand. So, you guys, my name is LeeApril Burton, and how I got into essential oils. I used to try to sell them, which I was never good at, but I saw that they benefited my family and myself. My son suffers from a blood disorder that causes great pain and inflammation, long hospital stays. So, when you're dealing with hospitals, it's not very clean. And so, I found that essential oils could be used in so many different respects, not only for pain, but for the keeping the area, the room clean. Sometimes the doctors would love it, but sometimes they weren't really for it. So we'd have to transition and put it on a cloth or something. But and then as a caregiver, I know that we give a lot of ourselves to others, so
Mm,
we have to take care of ourselves. And I'm actually in a bit of transition now where I'm starting to see how important it is to care for ourselves. And so I've been really focusing on that
mhm.
more than, not so much more than others, but just really taking my time with that. And essential oils have been an essential part of that process. So that's my little tidbit in a nutshell.
Well spoken. Thank you for that. And that transitions into what we're going to talk about today. And you talked about self care. So, if any of our viewers have seen our other live streams, we were talking about the use of essential oils back in the winter. And then we transitioned to the summer. And now we're back for the summer. I mean, we transitioned to spring. And now we're back for the summer. And we're here to talk about summer travels and the use of essential oils. And you know, we're in different seasons, right, ladies? And you don't necessarily use the same essential oils that you might have used in winter that you used in spring, or and it may, and then there are scents that are more complementary, or that you might let's say reach for more in the summertime, right, as you travel and or for self-care. So that's what we're here to talk about today. And if you're joining us, or if you watch the replay, certainly join us in the chat, or let us know that you're here, right? Let us know that you watched, or if you have any questions for us, certainly put it in the comments. We love your comments. We love hearing from you and knowing that what we're bringing you is, and we know it's a value, right? We know that
Yeah.
for a fact. But give us a thumbs up, a like, or some love, or something to say, yeah, ladies, okay. So, and we understand that aromatherapy is not something that everybody is familiar with, and that's why we're here to share, right? To bring you our expertise and what we know, and what we know to be true and be tried and true with aromatherapy. So
Right.
let's get right into it. So we're talking about summer travel. And so when we're talking about summer travels and the use of essential oils, I'm gonna start with you, Shawn. What um what sort of aromas? Because aromatherapy isn't just where we are, right? Aromas can be, you know, when we go into different places, we might smell some things. And what would you say to those who you say your specialty is in dealing with chronic conditions, right? What would you say to a person who's thinking about utilizing essential oils um, at home in the summer and or in during their summer travels, right? Their experience with bringing those summer travels and the aromas that they may smell, or what would you say to that person?
Well, I like to think about the connection between the scent and memories.
Okay.
So we know that that is all connected. And when we form good memories, such as when we go on vacation in the summer,
Yes,
um,
yes.
I, I like to have us to use all of our senses,
Okay.
right?
Right, right.
So my thing is, so let's just use for example, one of my favorite places to be
Uh-huh.
is on a Caribbean beach
Mm,
on the ocean, right?
okay.
Mhm.
So when I'm there, I am utilizing, I'm seeing, I'm using the sight, um, the sounds of the ocean, the wind blowing on my skin. But then I smell the beach, the sand, the water, just being in that. And so my thing is when we connect that and we lock it into our memories, then we're able to, um, in a sense, recreate that scent when we're back home,
Hmm.
um, with essential oils
Right.
to
Right.
blend those oils together.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to deal with the anxiety of life, dealing with a chronic illness, as we are sitting at home and diffuser on, blend those oils together, and we have that memory of
Mm-hmm.
when we were in that serene place. So I just like to marry the two.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. And so a person with chronic condition, is it even more important for them to, how can I say it, have those sensory sort of experiences or thoughts while they're on vacation and bringing those home, or trying to recreate those because they have a chronic condition? Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying? Is it,
Yes,
go ahead.
yes, because we're always trying to find ways to deal with the symptoms, the
Yeah.
pain, the fatigue, even the anxiety that comes with it as well. So when we um, have that memory that we're bringing back to mind, that's why it's so important because we're fighting these things constantly every day.
Mm,
And so if we have something in our toolbox to be able to give us some kind of comfort, some kind of relief, then that makes all the difference in the world.
wonderful. Thank you for expanding
Mhm.
on that. And so that brings me to ask you, Dr. Sheila, from a natural health perspective, because you deal with natural health, what are the benefits of using aromatherapy, like to call a relaxation or freedom from summer travels? Because even when we're on vacation and things, we might maybe overeat or not eat at our best. I'm guilty. Going someplace and gaining 10 pounds because
Oh.
by the time I'm telling
You're
on
not
myself,
alone.
I'm telling on myself to
Mhm.
eat 10 pounds. You're like, oh, I'm on vacation, but then when you get back, you're like, oh,
Oh my goodness.
So how do we deal with that in a natural health perspective, and just natural ways to relax, either using essential oils for that or even curbing our appetite while we gone? Because I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't think here about it, you be like, ooh. And especially if the local food is good, or
Oh,
or,
yes.
or or you can
Yes.
eat.
Well, I agree with you. I want to say that, the words that you mentioned for the summer
Yeah.
is freedom and
Mhm.
relaxation.
Okay.
And that's what I think about when I think about summer travels.
Mhm.
You have a lot of freedom to just come and go outside, don't have to wear a coat, just wear your short sleeve shirt and shorts and Bermuda shorts and sandals and just go out and have a good time.
All right.
But one thing I want to say is that when you're traveling, sometimes you travel in a car or you travel by plane and you are feeling really frustrated because you want to get to the place real quick, or you on an airplane and you get to the place you have to go to and you haven't gotten there yet because you have a layover.
Mhm.
So then you want to use an essential oil such as a citrus oil. When I think of the summer, I think of citrus oils and
Mhm.
floral oils. So I'm thinking about a citrus oil to improve that mood that
Okay.
you're feeling, that frustration when you're
Mhm.
traveling sometimes. So
Mhm.
you want to use a citrus oil like a sweet orange or
Mm.
grapefruit. Those are citrus oils. And sometimes when we're traveling like that, you be in a place where you are not familiar with. You're getting ready to lay down. You're tired for the day. You've done all
Mhm.
these activities, touring with your family,
Mhm.
in museums and different things. So you want to relax now. So when you want to use an oil to relax you, such as chamomile
Mhm.
or lavender oil, to
Mhm.
help to relax you to get a good night's sleep,
Right.
because you're not familiar with your surroundings, but you want to relax and go to sleep.
Right.
So those are two oils that can help to do that. And when you mention about the foods,
Help us out, Dr. Sheila.
woo, yes, I, I understand it well. When you have those celebratory foods,
I
when
like
you're
that.
out,
Celebratory
I
foods.
like,
Okay, that's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
when you're out and about. And for me personally, I like to use a oil blend that I use to
Mhm.
help with um, digestive support
Mm.
Mm.
when you eat those celebratory foods. So you might want to use
Yeah.
an essential oil blend with peppermint
Yes.
or fennel,
Mm.
but you want to make sure you use a carrier oil with that as well. You want to put a carrier oil with that essential oil blend, and you can use that topically on
Mhm.
your abdomen if you're having any stomach discomfort,
Mhm.
or you could use essential oil in the diffuser. You could
Okay.
do that as well.
Mhm.
So those are some of the tips when you're having digestive issues. And I recommend,
Mhm.
at one time before I knew about essential oils,
Okay.
I used to use over-the-counter um, products
Okay.
to help with digestive issues.
Okay.
And so the tablets that I would take, I could take 3 or 4 and nothing seemed to help.
Okay.
But
Were
when
they
you
were they pink or chalky?
yes, yes,
Were they
very
pink,
much so.
pink or
Yeah,
chalky? Okay, gotcha.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. So use so using the oil blend
Uh-huh.
works just like that immediately
Okay.
when you put it
Oh,
on the
yes.
abdomen. And you don't have to worry about the chalky taste,
Right.
the nasty taste of them, or having it, having 4 or 5 of them at a time.
Right.
Just use that roller blend and apply it on the abdomen or
Right.
on the chest if you're having indigestion.
Mhm.
That
Hmm.
helps as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Yep.
that helped me so much. Just take that other stuff and throw it right in the trash.
I
Just
heard that. I heard that.
Yes, and I have done just what you said. Once I discovered the world of aromatherapy and found what works for me, because everything
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work the same with everybody. We not encourage you to throw away. And you always say, Dr. Sheila, we not encourage you to throw away your medicine. But when I find some things that have worked for me, some of that over the counter stuff, no more.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. So my LeeApril Burton, Dr. Sheila just rolled us right into it. So when you are on vacation and you're traveling and you can get frustrated. You can just as a person yourself, be it the
Mm-hmm.
travel, the people, the accommodations, all sorts of stuff go wrong. Your
Oh
luggage,
yeah.
you
Oh
know,
yeah.
not being with you. But now, can we talk about caregivers? Now, it's a little different when perhaps you're being a caregiver and traveling, and you're bringing the
Exactly.
person that you are caregiving for with you on travel, be it your child or someone you're responsible for, or you've been hired, so to speak, to travel with them so that they can have a pleasant
Right.
experience. Can you speak to that? With using effective ways to use aromatherapy for that situation?
Yeah, and you know what? I have to give it to Shawn and Dr. Sheila because they really hit the nail on the head.
Uh-huh.
You want it when you're out there and you're experiencing life at its greatest, where it's supposed to be its greatest, but then you have all these different facets of life
Yeah.
that are coming at you and they're not as enjoyable as you would like. Yeah,
Right.
you do get a bit frustrated, but I really like what Shawn said because, like once you get there, you she used that visualization of being on the sand and feeling. I don't know if she said putting her feet in the sand or whatever, but you think about those things and that stuff comes home with you. And then Dr. Sheila, she hit the nail on the head with the food because once we get to our destination, we tearing up some food like and we are tearing it up, and if it's good, we try to see how much more we can put in here
Right.
because it's so good. So as a caregiver, it's all of those. It's everything. They've really touched on it. I think there's it's very dynamic for caregivers because not only do they have to care for themselves, they got to care for this person sitting next to them too,
Right.
and so make sure that they are okay, and then they're safe and they're good, and then it's yourself, and so um, I would have to say those oils that were mentioned already, like they really touched on them already. Citruses. The citrus oils will help boost that mood. It'll bring that sunshine back. It connects with your memories and helps you to really appreciate the better things. Maybe look at life. I told my son recently, I said, you know what? Life is like a diamond. I
Mm.
said sometimes light hits on certain aspects of that diamond and it glistens and it shines, but it doesn't hit on every aspect that you want it to at that point in time. So there's different facets to that diamond that light has to hit on too, so that you can appreciate every aspect of it. So just because something looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that's all that there is to it. So
Right.
that's what we're using with essential oils. We're trying to bring the different facets to the whole situation versus just that one situation that's really ticking us off. So when we use those essential oils, sometimes we just want to use a favorite oil. It doesn't even have to be something that's a citrus oil or a peppermint. Maybe it's just something that we really like and it just bring our mood back up. And I think that's really important when you're in travels because they can be very irritating too. Just dealing with other people, people who are not your family.
Right.
And we recently had a trip where we went to this aquarium. Kids were everywhere. I tell you, they're running around. They're not mindful of people who may be disabled. They're running into you. They're running right in front of you and stopping, turn around, flipping, and just doing all types of stuff. So it's like, little kid, if you don't go take your tail back over to your group.
They
So
being a kid. They being a kid. Right.
They are. So that's where we have to really be mindful. And so, best believe I pulled out my oil. Let me take a whiff real quick, but just really help you to enjoy. It helps you. You have to find a way to bring yourself back to the moment and not think about what you thought it was should have been, and just appreciate those good moments within it. And so I think that's the point of travels and everything, because it's not always going to work out the way you would like for it to.
Right.
So
Oh, and you touched on something really important. Bringing home what Shawn and Dr. Sheila said. You're liking particular essential oils. You might just find one that you like for yourself, right? And
mhm,
so recreating that when you get home, uh, meaning that there's a scent that you may have fell in love with and what have you, and that's where I well, you hear me talk about this all the time on my channel. Because you like it though.
yeah,
You need
yeah,
to know how to use it responsibly. So that being said, you might like the sense of a citrus essential oils. I don't know. Maybe you might be allergic to citrus. Who knows? Some people are. You'd be surprised.
yeah,
You would be surprised. Or maybe there are some floral scents that you like. Maybe you visit France. You've had all those floral scents going on. You're like, whoa, when I get home, I'm going to have the essential oils of my life, you know.
yeah,
But
yes.
maybe that particular essential oil might not be for you,
Hmm.
right? And so it's some things to consider when you're thinking about recreating those scents when you're at home and wanting to have that feeling that you had when you smell all those aromas, away. You're like, I'm gonna go home and do that, right?
Hmm.
And that's why we're
Hmm.
here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to empower and encourage you. If you don't know about aromatherapy, you don't know about essential oils, certainly reach out to an aromatherapist, aroma specialists such as us, so that we can guide you and walk you through, right? Be it for a chronic condition, be it for using for natural health in conjunction with using natural health modalities, and be it for caregivers, and or if you're a helping professional such as myself. If you want to use essential oils, we encourage you to we strongly encourage you. We can't say we mandate you, right? But
Okay.
you should. What we've learned in all sincerity, I can speak for us when I say in all sincerity, well, for what we have learned about the use of essential oil, it is best to consult with somebody if you don't know what you're doing, because it
Hmm.
can be fatal.
It sure can.
Mm-hmm.
It can be. So we just saying it with love. We just saying it with love, okay?
Hmm.
So, which
Right.
brings me to next, Shawn. So when we're talking about using aromatherapy, how can we use it like in different climates and different environments during the summer travel? Because something similar to, and I have LeeApril talk about, she might touch on this as well. When you're in, when you have a chronic condition, do certain environments affect you? Meaning, like, such as what you
Yes.
offer assistance with for fibromyalgia, do certain climates have a way with you, so to speak?
Yes. So with of course, like we said, everybody is different,
Yes.
you know. But the for some the winter months are harsher, um,
Mm,
because it really aggravates the pain.
okay.
But then
Hmm.
for others, and I'm speaking for myself, the summer months are like critical because I live in Louisiana.
Okay.
It is extremely humid. Summer hasn't even started yet, and our temperatures are like 104, and it's when you walk outside, it's like you lose your breath because it's
Okay.
so
Mm-hmm.
humid. And for those of us who deal with, um, like with me, I have a sensitivity to heat. I can't tolerate a lot of heat. I can take the cold, but not the heat.
Hmm.
So I have to find things or ways to stay cool. So those cooling oils um,
Okay.
Hmm.
help me, you know,
Okay.
even something that we don't talk about a lot, but hydrosols,
Mm-hmm.
where you can just spritz a hydrosol on you, one of those cooling ones, and it kind of refreshes and it really helps me to be able to deal with it better.
Okay.
Um, but and I mean, really, to be honest with you, I just avoid the sun as much as possible, being out in that heat as much as possible. Um, I will sit inside and suck up the air conditioner as
Mm-hmm.
much
I
as I
heard
can,
that.
right?
Right, right. Oh
Mhm.
my. Ooh, I can only imagine it. It's funny that you mentioned that we get those robocalls in our community that say, okay, we got a heat advisory coming this week, but that's just for the week. But you get it all summer long.
Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
it's like, wow. And you said something about hydrosol. I don't know how much you want to go into that, but there is a difference between essential oil, pure essential oil, and hydrosol. Could you touch on it a little bit or just in general?
Well, so it's and that, I want to use the right word here. Um,
Gotcha. Understand.
so we distill the plant
Mm-hmm.
to make the essential oils, but the hydrosol is a less potent portion of the oil, and there is a difference. It's because even with some hydrosols, you may have a peppermint hydrosol, peppermint essential oil. They may not smell the same. They
Right.
don't do the same things, but it's it's not necessary to use a carrier oil with a hydrosol, so it's less intense. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I just want to point that out for some people who may be watching and wondering, okay, hydrosol, I never heard that term before. So just to touch on it a little bit, but thank you for clarifying that and sharing that. And of course, if you want to learn more, definitely reach out to Shawn, the oil whisperer, and see how hydrosols can be helpful for you. Which brings me to Dr. Sheila. How can how do we use essential oils for like balancing our body and mind after returning from a trip? And for example,
Well, mhm. After returning from a trip, you would use the same essential oils that you basically would use before you even took the trip
okay,
while you're still at home. But you might want to use it in different ways or different situations. My go-to for any type of stress, whether you're on the trip or when you're back at home, is lavender.
okay,
That is always the essential oil that I always go to
okay,
when you come home from a trip, is to use lavender, and that just calms you down and relieves the stress
okay,
that you might experience while you were on the road, and now you're back home thinking about everything you have to do, like maybe clean your house that you didn't do before you left or something like that. So you want to use the lavender oil. And
okay,
also, while you're out, sometimes while you're away
okay.
during the trip
Mm-hmm,
or when you get back, you might feel a little under the weather
mm-hmm,
because sometimes you go to certain areas, environments where the weather is different.
mm-hmm,
It might be colder where you were, and now you get home and it's warmer.
mm-hmm. Okay.
And sometimes you have problems. You have a situation where you might want to boost your immune system to
Mm.
help you when you're feeling that under the weather. So
Yeah.
you might want to use something. I know the oils that I normally work with, there's a specialty blend called On Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And that essential oil has cinnamon and tea tree oil, for an example, that helps
Okay.
with your immune system when you feel that way, when you feel that a cold may be coming on. And because it is anti inflammatory.
Okay.
So, sometimes people do experience that type of symptoms when they come home after travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You most definitely. That's one of the things, like you mentioned, about going from different climates and what have you, that can be a change. Like if you're, we know we're talking about summer, but if you're going from a real cold place and then you go to a hot place and then you come back home, it's
Yes.
like your body is like, whoa, wait a minute, is it cold? Is it hot? Which one is it? And you're trying to get
Yeah.
adjusted to it. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Oh,
So, and
goodness.
other oils you could use would be eucalyptus.
Hmm.
That's another oil to use.
Hmm.
And marjoram is another oil as well
Mm.
for immune boosting properties.
When you come back home for trips, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's something
Hmm.
to consider. And now in the travel mode and definitely more conscious. I don't know about you ladies, but I'm definitely more conscious when I'm traveling now than I have been
Mhm.
in the past. I got my homemade blend hand sanitizer going on with my
Yeah.
essential oil. I'm trying not to touch nothing. And if I'm doing, I'm wiping and washing my hands and being mindful of folks who, I don't want to say it like this, but might look like they're under the weather. I'm like, let me exit stage left.
Hmm.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So you have that
Yeah.
carrying on. I'm not trying to be near you.
Oh, that's true.
you know,
Hmm.
but it might be
Yeah.
for other reasons, but you know what I'm saying. You can tell when
Right.
somebody's just got something, maybe they choking on something or something like that, and they start coughing, as opposed to a person, you can hear it in their chest, like, oh, they sound like they got phlegm going on. So, you know,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
all I'm saying. But thank
Hmm.
you, Dr. Sheila, for bringing that point up.
You're welcome.
Good
Which
point.
brings me to my LeeApril Burton. So, how do you
Okay.
find for caregivers
Mhm.
um, about recovery from travels and what have you? We do have a question in the chat, and we're going to get to you. I see you, H&D abroad. Welcome, dear. Go ahead, Leah.
Um, so yeah, for caregivers, man, we got some specialists here because Dr. Sheila said it,
Right.
you do the same thing. You want to keep that momentum or that mood boosted. The immunity, the immune system. I feel like I'm stealing what she said, but it's the
Yeah.
truth, and she speaks truth. That your immune system does get compromised a little bit. You've been in traveling. It reminds me of when children start going to kindergarten or school and they get around all these different kids and they share all these germs, they're breathing the same air, and then all of a sudden the kids start getting sick and you wonder, well, what's wrong with my child? Well, we get around each other and we get each other's germs. So it's the same concept. You're in a different environment. You've come home and you've done all that traveling. There's a stress involved with traveling.
Yes.
You don't know what's all going on with your loved one who you're caring for. So it just puts a lot of toll on you. So I think just carrying on uh, using the same oils that you were using when you were on your trip or even before you went on your trip. And like she said, lavender is a really good oil to use. It also helps with the immune system. Frankincense is a very good friend of mine.
Hmm.
And those citruses are good too because, if you think about oranges have vitamin C in them, so they boost the immune system as well. So just taking a moment to think about, it's about being mindful how we use the oils, especially since they're in connection with nature
Right.
and or they're coming from nature. So the way we use the oils is going to probably affect us the same way we would if we were eating that fruit or being in the around some trees or whatever the case is. So it just depends on what you're choosing to use and how it affects you. Yeah,
Right.
I don't
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And as a caregiver, it's definitely more essential that you take care of yourself because you're caring for someone else. Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's a good point to make. And I thank you again, Dr. Sheila, for bringing that up because even with your immune system, when you're out there, we were talking about before we got on this live, Shawn was mentioning that she created a blend for someone who was going away, right, on vacation. And one of the things that I like to do is definitely have a summer bug repellents oil, like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and creating that blend. I actually did a video on my channel. I want to say it was a three ingredient bug spray or bug repellent last summer, where I'm showing you how to recreate that essential oil blend with essential oils. So getting something to protect you while you're out in the sun, if you just happen to go to a place with sun. If you want a natural bug spray and you don't want the one that's the opposite of off, right? You don't want you don't want on. I should have said on. Duh, got it backwards. But you don't want that stuff on you, that sticky stuff, and you want something natural, you know. And speaking of summer, even on the outside, when you have like you might have uh, barbecue, well, I'll say barbecues or outside events or things like that, you can create essential oils to put around you as like a barrier. You know how they have those citronella candles? You can do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
with utilizing essential oils. I do have a video about that where I'm using twine. Simple twine, you're cutting up twine, you're using essential oils and a carrier oil, and you're tying them on maybe some foliage that you have around and or the decorations that you have around your party. And
Mm-hmm.
that
Very
acts
good.
as a barrier for you.
That's
So
amazing.
That's
I
a
Yeah,
great
really love that.
me too.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what a wonderful idea. It's not harming,
Yeah.
you can just take them off after you're done, I don't know if you might be able to reuse. No, if it's for one event, if you're not going to use them that summer, I would suggest recreating new ones for the next summer. But use them for
Mm-hmm.
that summer and that season, I would suggest. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to this question before it leaves us. I know we were talking about that. Hello, H&D abroad. It said essential oils for chronic diseases like blood pressure and diabetes, looking for protection / support for heart, kidneys, liver, and the pancreas. Ooh. Do either one of you ladies want to? We can all chime in here with your experience with that. If you have some ideas, I want to go ahead.
Oh,
It was while you're thinking about it, I want to touch. It's funny that you mentioned that H&D abroad. I just came across a case study where a person was talking about utilizing essential oils for diabetes. It was a relatively new study, and um, they were saying that it had promising results. Does it say it cured diabetes? Absolutely not. But what it's saying was that the person, when they used them, that their what I want to say, their numbers came down, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember exactly if it was the A1C number or what other number that they were referring to when they were talking about that. But in that study, and I'd be more than happy to share that with you, so you can uh, get that background information. But yeah, so essential oils have been known to help with conditions, right?
Yes, they have.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but under the
And
guise of a professional, and again, we're not telling nobody to stop taking their meds, but it
that's
can
right.
help in conjunction with if you want to use something natural. You ladies want to chime into this question? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I being a person who deals with both diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure.
Okay.
So, um, s- bringing out first of all that I am on medication. I'm not anti-medication,
Mhm.
um, and I had this is just my personal experience. I
Mhm.
ran well. If you know the medication that I'm on for type 2 diabetes, there's a shortage, okay?
Mm.
Because everybody is trying to use it for weight loss now.
Oh.
And so they're buying it
Mm-hmm.
all up and they can't make it fast enough. And so people who need it to live like me, well, you just have to, my doctor basically told me just suck it up and wait wait
That,
until, you
Really?
know, they get
Mm-hmm.
more stock in. Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to be doing something for myself. And I know that stress can elevate your your blood glucose levels. Stress elevates your blood pressure. So I use natural means to keep myself calm. One being, I have a diffuser going at my house almost at all times, intermittently, but it's, it's going. And there are certain blends that are more calming to me or more grounding to me,
Okay.
um, than others are. But like I said, we're all different. But
Yeah.
I want you guys to know that I have not had to, because I wear a continuous glucose monitor.
Hmm.
Um, and I have not had to worry about that going off because my number has skyrocketed too high, even though I'm without the medication. But it's because I'm doing other things, you know, meditation, mindful meditation. Um, Danny, I thank you so much for introducing me to that. And my essential oils, I know I'm attributing that, you know, to being able to keep me calm and not have to experience a higher A1C without the medication.
Right. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Wonderful. Um, and go ahead. Who want to chime in? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I want to say too, and you mentioned Danny that with physical symptoms, not physical symptoms, but diseases such as diabetes, blood pressure, situations with the kidneys and liver and pancreas. Essential oils doesn't cure that, doesn't cure those diseases, but it helps with those physical symptoms of the diseases. It helps, just like you were saying, Shawn. If you feel stressed, the lavender oil will make you feel more relaxed and help to bring that blood pressure down. Essential oils such as ylang ylang, if you use that essential oil and use it topically, that
Mm-hmm.
can bring your blood pressure down.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be careful in using essential oils. You want to talk with your doctor. You don't want to get
Yes.
off your medication. When you use essential oils, you want to definitely talk to your doctor because sometimes essential oils will uh, negatively affect what you're taking, what your doctor prescribed for you. So, because essential oils are so potent and they work
Mm.
so instantly, and it is a plant based medicine, but it can interact sometimes with synthetic medication sometimes. So you
That's
want
right.
to talk with your doctor before you use essential oils, any type of essential oil, and
Hmm.
make sure you use a carrier oil with that if you're going to use the ylang ylang essential oil and use
Yes.
it topically.
Remember,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
love
our
it.
Absolutely.
lang lang.
I love ylang ylang. I love that.
Absolutely. And
That's a funny name.
I know, right? I call it longy, longy, langy, langy, depending on the day. But I was going to say, I was going to say with that, you ladies said some important things about the diabetes. Just a side note, as a lifestyle coach, it's stress, sugar, and what did it say? Stress, sugar, and sleep is one of the three S's that affects diabetes. I just wanted to point that out. Stress, when you mentioned stress, I was like, yep, stress, sugar, and sleep is what we've been taught
Yes.
to share with individuals in the community can affect diabetes. And Dr. Sheila, with the medication, you hit the nail on the head because, and that's again why we're encouraging. You said she's mentioned talking to your doctor, but also aromatherapist, because we know that certain medications create the same effect as an essential oil or can be counterproductive. It either increase it, make it, double potent, or it could be canceling it out. So you don't want, that to happen. And whatever your condition is, then you don't want to have issues with that because you can be doing more damage than good, right? So I thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for that question, H&D abroad. Excellent question. So,
Mhm.
which brings me to Our last topics of discussion for tonight. Shawn, can you suggest ways to customize aromatherapy blends for your wellness needs when you have personal travel and you have chronic conditions?
Ballpark answer for that,
Okay.
just basically what we've been saying, consult with an aromatherapist, because it's I thought of something, that question we just discussed.
Yes.
When you're dealing with blood pressure, when
Mm-hmm.
you have high blood pressure, you have to be careful with peppermint,
Yes.
with using peppermint oil. And so if you're not aware of this, somebody may say, oh, well, you have a headache, your blood pressure's high, let's apply some peppermint and lavender, because that's usually my go-to.
Okay.
But unless we ask those questions about a person, having to deal what chronic conditions they're dealing with, again, what medications they're on, we have to be careful of that. So my best answer to that is, don't try to DIY. Consult with a professional.
Like you say, yeah, I like to DIY, but you have to know what you can DIY with without being supervised.
And another thing, another saying I have, I usually apply it to something else, but it's like
Okay.
About being a copycat.
Okay.
Because we can copy people that we may see, and I think there are people on social media that may get on and who are not professionals, but they may show you different ways to do things or make suggestions, and it's not the proper way. So when we're being a copycat, let's just make sure we're copying the right cat.
I like that.
Out there, y'all, right? I am so glad that you
I
said
like that.
And I tell you why, because my last live, I was doing exactly that, pointing out there was a gentleman on Instagram, and if you see my last live, you go to my live tab, the gentleman gave about 7 different essential oils, right? Because he was using it for a bug spray, because he said for his children, he didn't want to use the opposite of on, right, on his kids. And he was listing them, and that was it. 2 drops of this, 3 drops of, I'm like, oh, okay, but wait a minute. You're not telling. And one of them was eucalyptus. And I said, but we know that there are several eucalyptuses. And I pointed out that I talk about 3 on my on here most often. But if you just go, if you're a person, you go to the health food store, wherever you get your essential oils from, and first off, you want to get them from a reputable company. Let me start off by saying that. Okay, don't get them from the corner grocery store. I'm not or corner something. Get them from a reputable company. Secondly, with eucalyptus, you have to know which one to get. For example, eucalyptus globulus is one that is, how can I say, more readily available in the health food stores as opposed to eucalyptus radiata or eucalyptus citriodora. So normally when you go into the health food, at least in my community, it could be different other places, but that's the one you're picking up. But guess what? That's not to be used for children under the age of 10. It's not recommended. So, this gentleman was going off, and this is what I use, and here's the recipe. I was like, oh, let me talk about this. So actually, one of my viewers brought it to my attention. It's like, what you think about this? And I was talking about it. And so you have to know, like you say, copycat. Don't copy that if you don't know what you're doing and you haven't vetted, you haven't researched, you haven't consulted with somebody to see which essential oils that should be utilized. Because we know essential oils can have many different botanical names and can be all same eucalyptus, but different botanical names and do different things. And you shouldn't use all of them. So, case in point, thank you for that copycat.
That was good.
metaphor.
Point was made.
Yes, most definitely.
Love
I
that.
love it. We're using such beautiful words today. I love
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So, Dr. Sheila, how would you combine? We talked about how dietary changes with specific essential oils, you know, um, during the summer, because summertime we're eating different foods, right? We might not necessarily eat the heavier foods that we would eat in the winter, like our warm stews, our chilies. We might still do that, but we're eating more lighter foods. How would, um, you know, when you're working with people, how would you say about diet? Do you touch on that with
Mhm.
dietary changes from what you eat during seasonally? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I would say in the summer, well, first of all, go back to the winter. In the winter, you do have more of your soups and your stews, warm foods.
Hmm.
But then in the summer, you want to incorporate more of the colors of the rainbow. So you're looking at a lot of fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, berries, nuts, seeds, and smoothies,
Hmm.
salads. So you're getting the color of the rainbow, grilled vegetables, um, grilled meat, grilled fish
Hmm.
on the grill, hamburgers, and that type of thing. So you want to, that's one of the dietary things you want to just incorporate in the summer is the colors of the rainbow.
Hmm.
And when it comes to essential oils, I just want to say this that just like Shawn was mentioning about you can't follow everyone, when it comes to some essential oils,
Hmm.
you want to look at if they are certified and therapeutic, because some oils are not supposed to be consumed at all internally. And I know in the summer, I've seen different recipes, just going to the bookstore, I've seen recipes using essential oils internally in smoothies, for an example, or in salad dressings.
Hmm.
Actually, using just a drop of the essential oil for that. Be very careful of that, of using essential oils internally. I don't really recommend that because of the potency and how it could affect if you're on medication. And Danny mentioned that as well. So in the summer, I like to use, like I said, I love to eat fresh foods, but be careful about using essential oils in those blends as you're eating them.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that. And then I also mentioned about digestive support. You still want to use digestive support if you need that. And as I mentioned earlier, using fennel and essential oils, use it on your abdomen for stomach discomfort. And also, I want to mention too, in traveling, that there have been times where I would travel
Hmm.
and I would go to a massage therapist, go for a spa treatment.
Yeah.
And I've actually taken my own essential oil
Mhm.
bottle or blend to give them to use with oil, with their carrier oil, whatever carrier oil they might have
Right.
for a massage.
Okay.
Because sometimes, as you mentioned, Danny, sometimes essential oils are cosmetic, and you want to have that therapeutic blend, therapeutic effect, energy, within the body when you put it on topically. So I have given masseuse my
Hmm.
own blend to use on me when
Hmm.
I have a massage. So that's just an idea if you happen to get a spa treatment when you're out traveling.
That's an excellent idea
It
because
is
bring your
excellent.
That
bring
is
your own because you don't know
Mhm.
what they're using.
right,
Right.
I mean, they could tell you it's one thing, but you don't. Okay, but
right.
where
Yeah.
did they get it from? What's the botanical name? All the things. So that's an excellent point to make.
Very
And you
good.
mentioned about. I thank you for bringing up um, about using essential oils in recipes. And
Yes.
I did not
Hmm.
learn or train up under someone who taught about using internally. Although we know that it can be used in that way, but just like Dr. Sheila said, do it. Do your due diligence. Work with somebody closely because more is not better. And these little drops of gold, if one drop is very potent. You don't realize
Yeah.
how potent. You're like, oh, it's just what two drops in my tea of grapefruit. That
Mm, mm,
if it says one drop,
Mm-hmm.
they mean one drop for a reason. And
right.
not to get all sciencey, whatever, but our essential oils have constituents in them that you have no idea about. It could be 20 or 30 different constituents, different types of, chemical constituents in it that you don't
Mm-hmm.
know would have an
Mm-hmm.
effect on your body. So that's why it's important. It's not just one drop of grapefruit, it's the constituents. You're like, what are constituents? It just means the chemicals that are in it that make up that particular essential oil. And as aromatherapists, we know all too well what some constituents can do as opposed to other. Like, for example, 1,8 cineol. You got an essential oil with that in it is hot. It can't be
Mm-hmm.
hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, again, another reason to contact ladies or someone like us, an aromatherapist, aroma specialist, when you want to create blend for yourself or utilize essential oils. Which brings me to you, LeeApril Burton, for caregivers. How can you, say for instance, you're at home, maybe you don't get an opportunity to travel like you want to because you're caregiving. How can you utilize essential oils to bring you that sort of spa or retreat like feeling, like you feel like you've gone away on vacation, or to love on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
during the summertime?
Absolutely. That is so, I think find that really interesting that that question comes up because that's actually something I have dealt with.
Okay.
So, self care is, one of the focuses that I encourage my caregivers to take care of. Um, diffusing, I mean, and making so in my mind, I imagine uh, this big old bathtub full of water. I'm not trying to put oils in the water, but we can bring the diffuser into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have these little things. I mean, we could set it up to where it just looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your book. If you enjoy wine, you can have a glass of wine on the side. I mean, and just have that diffuser. I mean, even if it's not exactly what we would like it to be, we can still set it up. Our imagination can be, um, I want to say, our threshold or whatever, but just setting it up, just making it look really, really nice. Bring in, I don't know, I could get really creative. I have gotten creative and it worked for me. So putting the diffuser in the bathroom, sitting in that warm tub bubbles, letting the music play in the background, very nice, guitar type music, very slow ambiance, like having my book over there. I mean, it's just, you just hook it up according to what you like. And everybody's likes are a little different, but I think that many people would benefit from that. So, um, just making it nice, or even putting the oil like what has been stated previously, we want to get guidance on how to use these oils, to apply them topically, put them in a carrier oil like jojoba oil. That's a really good oil to use because it has a higher, it absorbs a lot better. Um, Coconut, fractionated coconut oil is really good as well. It's not as expensive, but it's jojoba oil. I like to go to that one. But just getting the guidance on how much oil to use on your skin topically. You can carry that fragrance with you all day after the bath or after you soak or after you're in your area with, as long as you like, because the oil, it does absorb quickly. It kind of moves fast. I'd say it would last maybe 30 minutes on the topically. I don't know. It just depends on what oil you use. But once that oil is gone, you have the effects of it on your skin afterward, or in your body and your energy. But so you probably won't need too much. So I don't know. I mean, it's something to play around with, but I do recommend having the guidance that you need with someone who knows what they're doing with the essential oils in order to benefit um, uh, greatly. So
Yes.
yeah.
and not only does it benefit you, right, but it benefits
Oh
the person
yeah,
you're caring for. So even when you're wearing a sensual oil,
absolutely.
you know
Yeah,
that it has an effect on the people that are around you, right?
it does.
They don't, may not realize it, but it does, right?
Yeah, it sure does because you carry that scent with you and they smell it and they get a whiff of it. And you know what? Even if we can't smell an essential oil, there's still some energies that we can get from it. So we can smell that. We can smell those chemicals. And I know you use the word chemical. I know we use the word chemicals as far as essential oils, and people are like, chemicals. Why would you use the word chemical? We try to stay away from chemicals, but in fact, everything is chemical. It's the toxins that we don't want. So sometimes we can get that misconstrued. And so we want to be clear about what a chemical really is because there's lots of chemicals that,
Yeah.
we're in contact with every day, but it's the toxins that we really don't want to be around. So
Thank you.
just to kind of clarify that
Yeah.
for some who are unaware of the chemical, chemical thing.
But thank you for bringing that up because
Yeah.
because when we say chemical, we mean natural chemicals. In other words,
Yeah.
they're not adulterated or anything. Plants have
Exactly.
natural chemicals in them that makes them up. Like our bodies,
Hmm.
like we have natural chemicals that make up our bodies, so do plants.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
so thank you for bringing home that that
So
point.
yeah.
So this is a question for all of us,
Hmm.
ladies. What is the most memorable or aromatic or aroma experiences you've had when you traveled and you wanted to recreate that when you were at home? If you can think about it.
So I think I already mentioned mine,
Okay.
about being, on the beach, the ocean. Um, that is that's the most memorable to me. And I have recreated it because I have a special blend I call Ocean Dreams.
Okay.
Mm.
And it combines ylang-ylang, lemongrass, and bergamot.
Okay.
Now,
Ooh.
you might think, I don't know. Try it.
No, I don't think that.
We know because we going in our
Oh,
mind. Because as a aromatherapist, she
sounds
be
good.
like, oh, I know what that smells like. Oh, I know
Mm-hmm.
what that
Yeah.
smells like.
That sounds
Ooh.
good.
And I'm telling you, I have had some really good feedback from clients that I've like done like a little inhaler, the little sniff stick,
Yes.
Hmm.
and they, I mean, even suffering from trauma, she said that is her go-to. She
Ooh.
said that one of the clients said that it would go missing. She would keep it in a certain spot. It would go missing because her daughter had gotten a hold to it and said, "Oh, I love this, Mom. Like, I need one for myself." But she said, and it's that scent. It's the Ocean Dreams, and she said it just brings good memories. So I'm happy to be
Nice.
able to share that. You know.
Awesome. Oh, and when you were talking about it, it's like, ooh. And so one way to be able to share it, one of the things that I love to do is making soaps with essential oils, right? And
Hmm.
so making it with that blend, and you can make a block of soap.
Ooh.
Everybody can get some.
Mm.
Nobody has nobody has to swipe nobody's essential oil. So that's an
Exactly.
option too, everybody.
Yeah.
That you can make a soap with it and have it not only something that's natural for your skin, um, if you want to make a natural soap. So that's an idea as well. You know.
Good idea.
How about
Mm-hmm.
you, Dr. Sheila? What has been one of your memorable aromatic experiences?
For me, a memorable would be the actual action of using the essential oil, not specifically a blend,
Okay.
but I'm thinking about, for an example, years ago, I think in about the mid 80s, I went on a cruise. And I didn't know a lot about essential oils then. I went with my family before I became married. So I was with my parents and my cousins and everyone. But then in 2019, it took that long from the 80s to 2019.
Uh-huh.
to go on another cruise with my family, husband, and my children. And I know more about essential oils now. So what's more memorable to me was actually having a portable diffuser and
Mm.
using an essential oil such as lemon eucalyptus
Mm-hmm.
to help to purify the room. And it
Hmm.
Yeah.
gave the room a beautiful citrus smell, a beautiful atmosphere to get ready to go and do the activities of the cruise. So that's what I remember, is that I was just so happy and so blessed and so fortunate to know about essential oils and
Right.
how it
Yeah.
can change your mood and purify rooms, and you could do so much with it. And
Yeah.
that's what I think about, is when I first used the oils to do that when I went on a cruise in 2019.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
awesome. Most
I'm
definitely.
gonna have to come with y'all. I'm gonna have to come where y'all are, because everybody over there, y'all get to travel. I love that. That is so cool. That is
Oh,
beautiful.
what about you, Miss LeeApril Burton? Have you been to places that you have used them or
Well,
community?
mine is, yeah, and it was a memory that I really enjoyed.
Mhm.
So, you're going to probably get a little bit of laugh out of this. We were in Texas, and the mosquitoes are huge out there. And
Mm.
so, we're trying to keep the mosquitoes off of us. And I took, I think it was a lavender and, I forget exactly what other oil I put with it, but I put that on, and I could feel the mosquitoes rubbing against my leg, but they never bit me.
Mm.
While my sister she wouldn't listen to me, she wouldn't listen to me and put it on herself. So, anyways, the next day she's like, "April, I need some of your lavender. I need some of your oil." And she was buttered up from head to toe. But the next few days we were there, and she did not get bit after that. But that first day, boy, the mosquitoes, they tore her up. She got this sweet blood, I guess, sweet
Mm.
California blood or something.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, it's those things, like when people come to you and they say they need something, and that you kind of specialize in, and that you can help them. That does feel good.
It
That
does.
really feels good.
It really
And that
does.
was a memory for me. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a nice memory.
Yeah, it,
But it's kind of corny, but it works.
it
It's not, I'm not out on the sea or the ocean or the beach, which I kind of wish I would have been there, but you guys you painted a picture good enough for me to imagine I was there. So thank you so much for that, Shawn. That was beautiful.
Hmm.
yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And like you said, April, it feels good when you can help somebody. I
Hmm.
had someone who wanted an essential oil for they're going to work in the garden, so I gave them my bug repellent recipe
Yes.
that I mentioned in a video that I did last summer. And she emailed me back, and I actually have it on my website, which you can see right here. She emailed me back and said, "Thank you so much for
Hmm.
sharing." And I just
Yeah.
happened to have some with me. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to the garden." I said, "Shit, I don't want to use that off." I said, "But you know what? I have this.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I try it." And she did. She said she was out in the garden for like 45 minutes, and she did not have problems with,
See.
you know, bugs. So it
Yes.
does work, folks. If you
Yes.
try, you can try.
Hmm. Hmm.
One of the
So, yeah.
one of the most memorable experiences I had with aromatherapy, I was at a resort, and in this resort, I don't know where it was coming from. When I tell you, everywhere you went in the resort, they had the same smell, and the smell was it was. I don't know if it was essential oils or what they did, but you know how you go to the movie theater, they say that they pipe the vents with popcorns to make you buy it, right? But
Oh, but
but with
I
the
didn't know
air,
that.
they vent the popcorn smell to
Really?
make you hungry. But at
Hmm.
this resort, I'm telling you, there was some sort of piping that you could see that was this aroma that was coming out. I was like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely beautiful. Whoever was the crafter or creator of that, it was ingenious because everywhere you went on the resort, that was that aroma, and it was just so relaxing. It's like
Wow.
they wanted to make you feel like, yeah, this is wonderful. This
That's
vacation is wonderful. you know.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was the most memorable thing, and recreating that at home. I'm like, oh, like you mentioned about the diffuser, having that diffuser going,
Hmm.
Shawn. Most
Yeah.
definitely, I love having a diffuser when I'm working remotely, or right before you go to bed, so that the room is permeated with that essential oil to help you relax
Hmm.
and what have you. Have a blend, also called Good Night Blend, that's good to help with your sleep for people who may be having trouble sleeping. So
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless when it
Yes,
comes
they
to
are.
recreating it at home and the blends. And I'm going to end this with talking about essential oils that you can use while you travel, how you can use them, right? And so one of the things that I enjoy doing when I'm traveling with essential oils is having something like this, what I have on my neck. And this is called an aroma necklace. It's made of
Mm.
clay, and you can simply, I have a citrus oil, I have grapefruit today. You can simply take one drop of whatever your oil of choice is and just apply it. I apply one, apply it on both sides, and you just have that with you. So that's one way to travel with aromatherapy that I enjoy doing. Someone mentioned
What
about
does that? How long does it last? Does it fade away or?
it does. Thank you for bringing that up, because you mentioned about however long it lasts for you when you were talking about that, using it for yourself and self-care.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it does go away, and then I replenish it when the aroma, I feel like, okay, I no longer smell it, or the aroma is gone away. And because it's clay, it goes right in. You can see I put it on there, but now
Okay.
you can even tell it's there. But I can smell it,
Oh,
got
okay.
the
Yeah.
inhalation
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the ways that you could use aromatherapy on the go. Somebody mentioned a sniff stick. Got to have my sniff stick. Can I tell y'all?
Yeah.
Uh, Here's a sniff stick, and it comes with a little top on it. And you put a little wick on the inside. Can I tell you? I keep a sniff stick in my pocketbook at all times. I made a blend called Empowerment. I can't remember everything that I have
Ooh.
in it, but
Mm.
I keep. I have to have a sniff stick at all times wherever I'm going. And so that's a good travel one. Is not too bulky, not too big, if you don't
Hmm.
want to carry a whole essential oil bottle. And this is a 10 milliliter bottle. Usually they come about this size. They certainly come larger, but 10 milliliters, I think that's allowable. Yeah, that's allowable on the plane, because you can only have 3 ounces of liquid. Otherwise they're going to toss it away. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
my heartbeat
Ooh.
hurts if
Yeah.
they tossed away my whole bottle of essential oil.
Oh
Oh,
my
me
goodness.
too. Me too.
I'll be hurt.
Oh.
Ooh.
And last
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
not least, I want to share with you, you can use something like what they call this, an atomizer, if I'm saying it
Uh
right.
huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It comes like that. This one just happened to come in a little fancy case, but some of them don't come like that. And you can create blends that way.
Yeah.
So these are ways that I like to travel utilizing essential oils.
I
So
know.
Hmm.
go
Really
ahead.
nice.
Excuse me, Dan. I know of another thing too. It's a mister. It's a mister where you take it's about this big, I guess, and
Mhm,
you put essential oil in and with water,
mhm,
and it has, you take the top off of it, and
mhm,
it actually mists the spray of water,
mhm.
to cool you down. That'd be good
Uh-huh.
for the summer. And you
Yes.
smell the essential oil too. It's called a mister. That's what I'm
Okay.
calling it.
And I'm thinking if you were talking about something similar to this that doesn't come in a case,
Right.
it's just a bottle that may look something similar to this, and you just spray.
You're
Yeah.
right. And it has
Yeah.
like a top, and you lift the top, and the top has a mister, and it'll spray right on you.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. So
Okay.
you could maybe,
Yeah.
it's small, so you could travel with that, but you got to take the water out of it if you're going to travel. And then when
Oh.
you
And then
get
add the water.
add the water later. Yeah.
Right. Right. That's an
Hmm.
Wow.
excellent
Yeah.
idea. Wow. Oh, ladies, we have talked. I love getting together with you. So I thank you so very much for I'm answering the call for the summer. She said, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to have a fall edition coming up in
Excuse
the
me.
fall. I'm putting it out there,
That's
y'all.
right.
We did winter, we did spring, and now we've done summer. So
Wow.
if you found, give this video a like or a thumbs up. Let us know how you like it and what did you learn? What did you learn from this
Man.
video? We would love to hear that in the comments. So as we leave out, I'm going to ask you to share, where can the audience get more from you if they want to learn more about what you were talking about today and they want to get in touch with you? I'll start with Shawn since you're on my left.
So you can find me on Instagram as the Oil Whisperer.
Okay.
And I have my website also that's listed under there, and Facebook as well under Shawn Jackson Everett. I am there.
All righty. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You, Dr. Sheila.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Sheila J Wellness.
Okay.
And that's where I have my business, my coaching business information. You can click on the link to get a free consultation with me.
Mhm.
And also, I have another Instagram channel, Essential Resilience. And with that channel, I'm also known as the Essential Oil Concierge. And I
Okay.
talk about essential oils and lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
what's up.
Yes.
That's what's up, girl. That is nice, concierge. Well, okay. Well, is it okay if I go ahead and go, Danny?
Absolutely. Please. Yes.
Well, currently, I'm on hold, but I do strongly recommend you all reach out to Shawn if you need support with pain and managing that and getting yourself back grounded. Dr. Sheila, amazing in her practice. I'm trying to recall what you do. Oh, the hypothyroid
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
brain fog. Amazing, because I can really come to you like right now. And Miss Danny, oh my goodness, we need that. I mean, so many people need to know how to use essential oils and know how to do it safely. So I know you haven't spoken, so I'll let you, but I would refer you guys out. If you did happen to reach out to me, I'm going to refer you out. I'll give you some advice. I'll take you and talk to you, give you guidance, support, but I'm going to refer you out because that's where I'm at right now.
Thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
Yes. And for all you, and she didn't say a miss, but for all you caregivers out there, although she'll refer you out, she'll listen to you.
I'll take care of you. I do.
Yes.
Yes, I sure will.
Give you some
But if you
recommendations.
need support, oh, absolutely. I sure will. I'm the refer girl, the referral girl.
That is so sweet. Yes, most definitely. Yeah, yours truly. You can find me here on YouTube at Natural LID. You can see my website at Aroma Buzz and Blossoms. I do have links to my free masterclass for beginners. Just if you want to know, okay, what is this thing about essential oils these ladies were talking about? What are they talking about, right? And you just want to
Yeah.
get a foundation before you jump and actually utilize essential oils. And that's what I would recommend that you start. The free masterclass, and there's 5 things to consider before using essential oils. It does say it is catered towards social workers and counselors, but it's definitely good for all beginners who want to utilize essential oils and have something natural in their wellness cabinet, right?
Mhm.
So I would recommend you start there. You can certainly reach out to me on my link on my website, my Calendly link, if you want to schedule some more one-on-one and have personal consultation and see how aromatherapy could be a benefit for you. Okay. So again, I thank you very much, lady. Any final words you want to leave the audience before we wrap it up tonight on this Friday night?
Thank you for having me, Danny.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
oh,
Thank you.
Yes.
more than
Hosting
welcome.
this. Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you as well.
It is my absolute pleasure. I get excited when we're getting ready to get together. I call you I started calling you my aroma sisters, and I mean that. Because,
I do too.
in this space, let's be honest, I don't see very many of us out here doing what we do and trying to help our community, or emphasize or share with us the knowledge that we have about utilizing essential oils. You might hear about fragrance oils and things of the nature, but just really wanting to share. And I feel that with each and every one of you. You're compassionate and passionate about what you've learned and wanting to share how it's benefited you and how it can benefit those that you want to serve, right, in the community.
Yeah.
So I feel that from you, and I appreciate you sharing that with me and sharing that with this audience. And I think that will be it.
All right.
Yes, so absolute. Again, thank you, ladies, for being here. Thank you all, for those who watched the replay, and certainly give your comments about things that we have said today. Maybe it resonated with you. If you have further questions, feel free to reach out to us. And as I always say on my channel, let us continue to what? Learn, grow, share together naturally. Until next time, beloveds, God bless you. I love you. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.